You know, in a world that's constantly talking about carbon emissions, the whole idea of a country absorbing more co-ROs than it emits, it almost sounds like a fantasy,
It
right?
really does seem quite extraordinary in today's context.
But it's real. And that's what we're diving into today, thanks to the great sources you shared. We're talking about Bhutan,
Hmm.
a nation that isn't just aiming for carbon neutrality, they're actually carbon negative.
That's right.
So our mission here is to really unpack that. How did they achieve it? What's unique about their approach to, keeping the environment front and center?
It's a fascinating case study. And yeah, what immediately jumps out is just the scale of it.
Yeah.
We need to break down first what carbon negative actually means in real numbers.
Okay.
Then look at the specific policies, the actions they've taken,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, also the challenges, because it's not without its hurdles.
Right.
And prepare for some pretty surprising figures, especially about their forests.
All right, let's get straight to it then. Carbon negative. What are we actually talking about here? The source material had some solid numbers.
It did, and they paint a very clear picture. So Bhutan puts out roughly 2.2 million tons of carbon dioxide each year, give or take.
Okay, 2.2 million tons emitted.
But here's the thing. Their forests, they're like these incredible sponges. They soak up over 7 million tons of co-euro annually.
7 million, wow.
Yeah. So you do the math. That leaves a net negative balance of around 4.8 million tons. They're literally pulling carbon out of the atmosphere.
Okay, so they're acting as a massive carbon sink. That's huge.
It is a natural system absorbing far more than it releases.
How does that absorption rate stack up against, say, other heavily forested countries? But maybe more importantly, how did they get here? This wasn't an accident, surely.
Oh, absolutely not. It's baked into their national philosophy and very specific policy choices. One of the absolute cornerstones is how they protect nature in their constitution.
And the Constitution.
Yes. Bhutan's constitution actually mandates, it requires that a minimum of 60% of the country's land must remain under forest cover.
60% minimum by law. That's incredible.
And they actually exceed that quite comfortably. Right now, it's over 70% forested.
I mean, enshrining forest cover in the Constitution, that's a powerful statement, isn't it? How many nations do that? It just speaks volumes about their priorities right from the top.
It really does. And with over 70% coverage, those forests are obviously doing a massive amount of work, pulling co-euros out of the air, photosynthesis on a national scale.
It's a fundamental commitment. Okay, so the forests are clearly vital, but I know their energy sector is also a big part of the story.
Yeah.
Very green, right? Tell us about the hydropower.
Yeah, that's another absolutely critical piece. Bhutan gets almost all, nearly 100% of its electricity from hydropower.
Harnessing all those rivers and mountains.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is they produce so much clean electricity, they export a large